All right, everybody, it's Wednesday night. Let's talk about Hurricane Erin. Right now, a Category 2 storm. It is set to become a Category 3 major hurricane again late tonight. The thing about this storm that's interesting is the track is not going to make landfall, which you might be thinking, okay, it's not a landfalling hurricane, not a big deal. But what's interesting is the impacts are still going to be very widespread. Winds gusting anywhere between 35 to 50 miles per hour here, but there will be parts like North Carolina, for example, that see winds up to 60 miles per hour, maybe even more. A bigger risk that's going to come with this is going to be the high rip current risk. From New England all the way down the mid-Atlantic seaboard, do not go in the water for the next couple of days. Let all this energy kick on out of here. Beach erosion is going to be a big problem as well. Of course, these waves coming in at 6 to 12 feet in many spots, you combine that with high tides, and that's going to bring that water all the way up to the dunes, kind of ripping up the sand and causing beach erosion in many parts. Coastal flooding is going to be a problem as well. There are flood watches, there are flood warnings that are posted. The water comes up, all that surge heading on in, combine that with the high waves, and that water is just going to push in. So we will be dealing with some flooding around the region. Low tide is going to be early in the morning, 1:30, 2 o'clock, depending on where you are. But as we get into your Thursday morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock, that is when we're focusing on the first high tide of the day down the Jersey Shore. Low tide will occur right in the afternoon, 1:30, 2 o'clock. That's really when the winds are going to be going too. That coincides with the low tide, but as we get into the late afternoon and early evening and the tide rises closer to about 8 o'clock at night for a high tide, that's when we're going to be really watching the erosion, the coastal flooding there as well. Here we are talking about this hurricane. We have a tropical storm warning for the coastal waters off of our Jersey Shore, but we're not even going to see a drop of rain from this system. The outer bands will not reach our area. So if you're at the shore, if you had beach plans, you're probably not spending time on the beach. You're probably spending time on the boardwalk, but we're not going to be dealing with any kind of flooding, torrential rain, or thunderstorms out of this system. Of course, as always, your Next Weather team will keep you updated. Stay with CBS News Philadelphia for the latest.